Okay, welcome back to the Be Different podcast. I'm your host, Brad Redford. We are joined once again by the legend Andy Mack, kicking it old school with Andy Mack, and we're taking on Xavier. And Andy, the big thing with Xavier right now, there's a lot of rumors going around right now. There's a lot of people talking, so we're going to go ahead. We are going to get right to it, and that's going to be concerning Xavier's two top senior players, Trayvon Blewett and J.P. McCura. There was an a closed scrimmage against Ohio State last weekend. Trayvon Blewett did not play. J.P. was limited. What can you tell us about Trayvon and J.P.'s status?
You know, I want to dispel a few rumors. I've had a lot of my acquaintances who have UC ties, and they're not friends, they're acquaintances. They're nodding acquaintances. They've come up to me at work, on the street. Andy Mack, we're so worried about Xavier. You know, they give me that phony sincerity about, now what's the truth? That Trayvon had rotator cuff surgery, we hear, and it didn't go well. Guys, your concern really hits me hard. Trayvon bumped, bruised, strained his shoulder in practice a week ago Friday. Did not play in the Ohio State scrimmage, and I don't know if he's going to play in the November 4th Thomas More College exhibition game, but did not require surgery. It is not that serious. He should be back for the opener, and certainly he'll be full go, barring further complications for the Gavitt games showdown at Wisconsin on November 16th. As far as J.P. McCura, he twisted an ankle, and Brad, you know, he does that all the time.
Yeah.
J.P. hits the floor 5-6 times a practice. He's had ankle difficulties in the past, and somehow Dave Fluker tapes him up and he recovers. He's all right. I would expect he will be full go for the Thomas More scrimmage our exhibition game on November 4th.
So I know that you're a big Xavier optimist. I know that.
Yeah.
But so you're telling me right now, complete 100% truth, there's no concern at all, injury status for Trayvon or JP. Any of the rumors that are going on in terms of the actual seriousness of these deals, they're not there.
Zero, nada,
right.
Nil, big old zoof. And you know, a lot of things can happen in practice. I mean, these guys go hard.
Yeah.
They go hard every day. JP does not take many plays off, and that's why they have to hold him out of some of these situations. And Trayvon he does not need to get in better physical shape. This guy is like down to 192 now. He is sleek. And we saw him in Musketeer Madness. Did he look like he was at the epitome of efficiency? He drives the ball well now. I mean, he's like a streak to the bucket. And if you give him any room out of the wing, the ball's on the way and in the bucket.
Yeah, his efficiency is impressive, and it does move to the rest of that team. Muskie Madness, Andy, I know that you were there. I apologize. I saw that you did miss out on the UDF free ice cream. I was going to bring you an IOU today, or a little coupon, so that you could get your favorite UDF ice cream. So I apologize that you weren't able to get that. You know,
I was doing my homework out on the concourse. I was talking with people. Stan Kimbrough and I had a good conversation. Xavier class of 89. Almost 1,600 points scored. Stan's doing well. And then I talked to Malcolm Bernard for quite a while. And he was drafted by a team in the G League.
Yeah, the Grand Rapids Drive. He's going to be in Michigan.
He was a first-round draft choice.
Yeah.
He's going to go up there and try to make the roster. And I think they open very shortly. So hopefully he was optimistic that he'd be playing in the G League. So I missed out on the ice cream. The last cup was given to some octogenarian Xavier season ticket holder, and he grabbed it right out of my hand before I could eat it. Of course, I really need another cup of ice cream.
Question for you, Andy. Can you, from what you heard from your insider info, what did you hear about the freshmen? How did they play?
Oh, and the Ohio State scrimmage. Well, Xavier did lose. I'm not sure. You know, it's super secret. Everything I say here is second or third hand, because it could be a secondary NCAA violation. I do not want Tom Iser calling my office, the Xavier SID, and horsewhipping me as he does every year when like a little tidbit of information leaks out. I love Tom, but you know, everybody knows what went on in that scrimmage. There is a box score somewhere. Xavier either lost 87 or 86 to 80. There's a discrepancy. But all three freshmen played big minutes, which was the whole point of the scrimmage, to find out. Chris Mack's got to find out where these guys fit in a logical rotation against a decent D1 opponent. Najee Marshall played well, turned the ball over a little, tried to do he double figures. Paul Scruggs, second leading scorer, and Elias Harden. Man, I was really impressed with him in Musketeer Madness. Of course, they're scrimmaging themselves. Is the defense good or is the offense bad or vice versa? Najee Marshall can stroke it. He's very long. I think he's gonna get some PT. He played well against the
Well, yeah, and I know there was no dunk contest at Muskie Madness, but Najee Marshall was putting on a little bit of a dunk expedition.
Najee Marshall in the warm-up, that was enough for me. I mean, I don't want guys jumping over cars and jumping over Sister Roseanne in some stupid dunk contest. That makes no sense. Somebody's going to get hurt, you know? I remember there was a UC player years ago who jumped over a car.
Melvin Levitt,
the levitator, who scored the big bucket against the Duke Blue Devils at the Great Alaska Shootout. That's when that tournament used to be great. Now they don't even do it. They didn't do the Great Alaska Shootout.
That was against Duke.
That was against the Duke Blue Devils. Yep. It was a great win for the Bearcats. And they don't do that because the kids don't want to get cold. They don't want to wear coats. They don't go to Alaska now. They want to go to a warm weather site. And anyway,
I think we should scrap this whole podcast and do an anti-Duke one.
Sorry. I would be very comfortable with that. Duke is a great place. I mean, look at whatever. I don't want to talk about
said something nice about Duke. I can't believe it.
But I think the scrimmage served its purpose again. My glass is always overflowing with Xavier purple, whatever, blue. It's blue. And so maybe I'm thinking this. They lost. Oh God, they lost to Ohio State. Damn. No, they'll be fine. I think Coach Mack got a lot of good intel on his freshmen. Karem Cantor played both at the 5 position, and he played a lot of 4. And if I were Kaiser Gates, I would be a little worried. I think he's going to get squeezed on playing time from both ends here. If they go small, maybe he's not going to play that much. And if they decide to go big, then Cantor moves to the 4. And, Kaiser, he looks great. He played great against Maryland and Florida State in the NCAA, but he's going to have to stay healthy and be a bit more of a junkyard dog to get. He could be the starter at the power forward.
Yeah, but Coach Mack doesn't seem to be a fan of Kaiser. I'm not sure what it is, and Kaiser's had some good games in the past, but he just doesn't strike me as a player that the coaching staff trusts. And I think a lot of it just goes down to Kaiser's consistency as a player. And I'm not at practice all the time, and I can't see him, but I know what I see from him on the court. A lot of inconsistency, not sure what you're going to get out of him every single game, where a guy like Cantor, he might not have the same ceiling as a guy like Kaiser, but he's going to give you that energy and consistency that I think they want.
What a body with Kaiser Gates. What a skill set. He won the 3-point shooting contest. He can stroke it from the corner or from the wing. And maybe he'll follow that Xavier big guy 4-year trajectory we've seen so many times. And maybe he's a junior. This is his year. He's going to have the opportunity.
All right, we're going to move away from the current team right now. A little bit of recruiting. Andy, a lot of people are concerned about this recruiting class coming in. What are your thoughts?
And again, the blogosphere is going nuts. I mean, Xavier is going to, it's going to be a total bagel in the class of 2018 for Xavier. Jake Walter, the verbal from Covington Catholic, is never going to be a player. I mean, I saw him walking around at Musketeer Madness. This guy is sculpted. I mean, and his dad, it was an NFL offensive lineman. If the gene pool follows, he's going to have great feet. They may have to redshirt him. He's going to be the type that's going to go into the weight room. He's already been in talking with Matt Jenkins about weight training and getting ready, getting his body ready. And I don't know anything about the Keontae Kennedy, the 6'4" shooting guard that they got a verbal from Austin, Texas, but he's supposed to. They're all debating on, well, he's really not a 3-star. He might be a 3.8 star. He might be a supernova. He might be like an asteroid. I don't know. All this stuff about recruiting. But I put my trust in the Xavier coaching staff. They've been together a long time. They know what they're doing. They're going to be 2018 is not a great class. 2019 is. They're going to have all sorts of scholarships available, I think, by design. And they're going to be, because of this FBI probe, they're going to be mid-year transfers, they're going to be end-of-year transfers, grad transfers, decommits from 18, and the whole field in 19 is very tempting. So, if you're a Xavier fan, don't be worried. It may not look great on national signing date. They may only sign 2, they might sign 3, but there are a lot more components going to be baked into the cake, and the coaches are not going to back off on what they see and bring in a player just to sign somebody who's not going to be a factor. They have very high standards, and they should.
Well, and they've done it in the past, and they've had great teams. I mean, they keep bringing players, and they've had guys who a lot of people on the outside didn't think would be great players, and they've played well for them. So
I get so tired of this recruiting stuff, though, and I know everybody is interested in it, but they're looking like class of 2021, this 8th grader. I mean, the coaches have to do that, all right? We don't. Let's enjoy what arguably is going to be a banner season for Xavier. I don't know about injuries. I don't know about chemistry. I don't know about bad calls. I don't know about rough travel, getting caught in a snowstorm somewhere that's going to affect. But this is a hell of a Xavier team.
Yeah, enjoy the product on the floor.
Yeah.
I don't get wrapped into recruiting. So next up for the Musketeers is going to be a challenging test. On Saturday, it's going to be Thomas More, Division III team, Saturday at 4 o'clock, who did lose to Kentucky 103 to 61 last week.
I sense a tinge of sarcasm with that challenging. You're stealing my act here. But Thomas More College is a D3 team from Crestview Heights, Kentucky. And they made the NCAA D3 tournament last year. They have all 5 starters back. And they're a good program, good school. I think Chris Mack basically lives right on campus at Thomas More. I think this is give them a nice check, give them some exposure, and I think that this is not some of the D2s they've played have been really good, like Bellarmine in the exhibition and Finley and teams like that. This is not the same level, but it's going to be fine.
And I think, Andy, we got to everything, Xavier. We got to Muskie Madness. We got to scrimmage. We got to recruiting. Thomas More coming up next. And Andy promises us no concern with Trayvon Blewett or J.P. McCura. Andy, we appreciate you being here,
wait a minute,
as
I got to
always.
Throw a caveat in there. I mean, I don't know. I don't go to practice every day. Somebody can get hurt very easily. But both Trayvon and J.P. have dealt with injuries successfully over their careers. And guys get hurt in practice all the time. You went hard in practice.
Yeah.
You know how demanding Chris Mack is physically for these guys.
Yeah.
Can't happen. They jump high. They come down at weird angles.
Andy's got to cover all bases. And
I just want to be, I want to be fair.
You are fair.
Fair and
Greg,
balanced.
Nick, would you say Andy is very fair and balanced?
He's not very fair when
I'm
it
like
comes to
Fox
Duke.
News. I'm fair, balanced, and unafraid.
Andy will be back at it next week, and we're going to have actual games coming up here
Yes.
soon. We'll be able to document all the box scores because it's not going to be a close scrimmage like we got with Ohio State. This Thomas More people are going to be able to watch this game, so we'll have some things to look at. I don't know about how much because it's probably going to be a serious blowout. But we'll have debate on the topic, and we'll get your thoughts, and then hopefully at some point we can relay this to the coaching staff so they can make changes.
We'll bring the Moorhead State the Moorhead State Eagles from the Ohio Valley Conference. That's the opener, and that's November 10th. So we're almost there. Real games.
We're getting there, and that is Kicking It Old School with Andy Mack.
Thanks, Andy.